is a linebacker from Miami, Florida. Number 8, Tommy Cruz. The Cruz missile is accompanied by his parents, Jose Cruz and Fatima Mendez. Tommy is a 2-year member of the team and has played in 6 games for the program, as well as he tallied 6 tackles as a linebacker for the squad. Tommy is majoring in psychology. After graduation, he plans to attend grad school and launch his own clothing brand. Congratulations, Tommy. Our next senior is a tight end and team captain from Key West, Florida. Number 13, Henry Audette. Henry is accompanied by his parents, Henry and Aaron Audette, his brother Lucas, and many others in his family. Henry is a 4-year member of the program, playing in 18 games. He is having a career year, having 15 receptions for 139 yards and 3 receiving touchdowns. Henry is majoring in business with a minor in sports management and coaching. Congratulations, Henry. Our next senior is a corner from Cody, Wyoming. Number 19, Blake Beardall. Blake is accompanied by his mom, Heather Beardall. Blake is a 4-year member of the program, appearing in 18 games and recording 40 career tackles. He is tied for second in the USA South with 9 pass breakups and has been honored on the Provost list 3 times. Blake is majoring in business management and leadership with a concentration in sports management and coaching. After graduation, he intends to pursue career opportunities out west and may also continue his education in graduate school. Congratulations, Blake. Our next senior is a linebacker from Bristol, Pennsylvania, number 17, Tyreek Talley. He is accompanied by his teammates, Nick Euler and Barbecue Simmons. Tyreek is a 3-year member of the program, appearing in 9 games and recording 20 tackles and a forced fumble. He is majoring in family and human development with a concentration in sports management. After graduation, he plans to join the military. Congratulations, Tyreek. Our next senior is an offensive tackle and team captain from Kaysville, Utah, number 77, Cambridge Bingham. Cambridge is escorted by his parents, Brian and Melanie Bingham, and his wife, Libby Bingham. Cambridge is a 4-year senior who has been an important part of the offensive line the last 4 seasons, playing 37 games in the 4-year span. Cambridge has been featured on the Provost list and plans to attend dental school after graduation. Congratulations, Cambridge.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's almost time for football here at the field at Southern Virginia University. Please turn your attention to the field for today's coin toss. Referee for today's game, our head referee is Kevin Solomon, umpire Warren Smith, head linesman John Bettleback, line judge Thomas Stein, field judge Drew Myers, side judge Matthias Henderson, and back judge Donovan Platt. Tonight's captain for the Panthers, number 2, Henry Rodnack, number 38, Leon King, and number 10, Desmond Jones. Representing tonight, Brooke Hopkins for the seniors, number 1, Jamal Robinson, number 16, Devin Watson, number 77, Cambridge Brigham, number 13, Henry Audette, number 3, Ty Smith, and number 22, Spike Adams.
Let me get 2 beats, 2 claps, and a woo! Woo! Let me get 2 beats, 2 claps, and a ah! Ah! Let me get 2 beats, 2 claps, and an ooh! Ah! Ooh! Ah! Let me get 2 beats, 2 claps, and an SBU! SBU!
LaGrange, Division 2 is coming to your call. You're going to call USA South or Division 3? Division 3, USA South. What is your call? Division 3 is the call. USA South. You want to defer. You want to defer. I'm correcting. So you're going to receive the ball. You're going to kick away from the clock. Thank you, sir. Southern Virginia is on the coin toss. They have elected to defer. They will kick away from the clock. Just Anthony Cookies out. Let's hear it for George. Southern Virginia, no! In accordance with tradition at Southern Virginia University, we will begin with a word of prayer, which will be offered today by baseball player Seth Lloyd.
Our Father in heaven, we're grateful for the opportunity tonight to Southern Virginia University watch some football. We're grateful for the opportunity to ask the principal all over this year for participating.
Now, if you please all rise and remove your cap and face the American flag. Presenting today's national anthem is your very own Perry McClure High School right here in Buda Vista, Virginia, the Perry McClure High School Marching Band.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Knight Stadium on the campus of Southern Virginia University. We are here for the season finale with your Knights taking on the LaGrange Panthers. I'm Colby Camp, and alongside me this afternoon is Jackson McDonald. Jackson, it's a beautiful afternoon here, and it's senior day, and the conference champion Panthers come to Knight Stadium looking to complete an undefeated USA South Conference season. Will the Knights look to honor their seniors and finish this historical season with a win?
Yeah, thanks, Colby. It's a great fall afternoon, and like you said, we got a good matchup with LaGrange being undefeated in conference. They only have one loss outside of conference. They're number one in the nation right now for sacks, and they're number two in the nation for tackle for losses. They're a very deafening team with some great threats, and so it'll be difficult for these Knights to kind of compete. But we've seen the Knights in the past, and we've seen how they can play and what they can do and what they're capable of. And if they're able to do that, then they can make a stand.
Scott Dupay kicks it off, and it will go out of bounds. So the Panthers will begin their first offensive drive from the 35-yard line.
And Colby, looking at this LaGrange offense as they get ready to take the field. Right now they only have one loss, but for conference they're clean, right? No losses. And looking at their scores earlier, they have 7 different games with double-digit wins. Their offense has never scored less than 17 points of every single conference game. They've been very, very dominant this season. And so it'll be exciting to see what they can do.
Yeah, a little interesting. LaGrange, they were actually picked 4th in the preseason coaches poll in the USA South. And here they are, having run the table so far. With a victory today, they can come out with a clean conference schedule. And of course, with that, they will be the USA South representative in the NCAA Division III football championship. So LaGrange has chosen to back the Knights up 5 yards. So we will have a re-kick to start this contest. Once again, it is Scott Dupay. He will kick it away to the Panthers.
Bryant and Bozeman, it looks like, in the backfield.
Aaron Bryant, Takaris Bozeman, 2 back to receive the kick. Looks like it'll be Bryant. He'll field it at the 7. And he will bring it out to the 34-yard line. So not much of a difference there between the penalty and the re-kick. And so from the Knight 34-yard line is where the Panthers will start. Now with it being senior day, all the seniors will be starting the first play on offensive or defense. Our starters for today on defense for the Knights are Joseph Woods at defensive tackle, Kavika Bringhurst, Trayden Henderson, Britton Tidwell, senior Jamar Robinson, Spike Adams, senior Tyreek Talley, senior Blake Beardall, Scott Pezzi, Ty Smith, and senior Tommy Cruz at safety. Broadnax with the give to number 20, Michael Hayes. And the Knight defense holds him to about a 1-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 9 for the Panthers.
Yeah, Colby, and looking at his Knights defense, while the LaGrange has had a very dominant offense, the Knights have also had some great defense. Earlier this season, they were in the top of the nation, top 3 in the nation.
Broadnax with a quick completion. That's out to number 3. It'll be 3rd and 4. That was Colby Crawford on the reception. And Crawford once again, and he will take that out to just shy of midfield for a first down.
Like I was saying
Panthers.
earlier, Colby, the Knights, they were top in the nation for defensive ratio, and they've just had some very dominant defense over this season. So it'll be interesting to see how they can do it.
Broadnax will line it up. He has Hayes in the backfield. And on the give, Panthers will pick up 3. Yeah, the Knight defense, they've been strong throughout. The last 3 games have been a little difficult as they have, been playing the top teams in the USA South, but they still maintain #1 position in the country at fumble recoveries. And that will be a first down on a completion to number 6, Ashton Bryant. And right now, LaGrange, they are putting together a good drive here to begin this game. Knight defense will look to dig in here. And Crawford will be tackled for a loss. Or they'll rule that incomplete. So 2nd and 10, LaGrange from the Knight 39-yard line. Panthers come in here having 2 USA South Players of the Week, Takaris Bozeman on offense and Legend Doggett on defense. Screen pass out to Hayes. Hayes breaks a tackle before he is brought down by Jamar Robinson. And that will be first down at the Knight 25-yard line. Looks like the Knights had him stopped. They're near the line of scrimmage, but Hayes was able to shed the tacklers and take it for a first down. Hayes once again up the middle. And right there is a touchdown saving tackle by number 23, Scott Pezzi, as Hayes was able to break through the line.
You can see Hayes once again, just another powerful run. I mean, he just finds or breaks the tackle, finds that hole, and he just kind of rips through it. And that's his kind of third in a row big run.
Hayes averages 4.3 yards per carry on the season. First and goal from the SVU 8-yard line. Stillwell goes in motion. And the gift to Hayes, he'll try and bounce it outside. And he will be tackled there for a loss by number 3, Ty Smith. A loss of 3 on the play, so it will be second and goal from the 11-yard line. Broadnax with Hayes in the backfield. Up the middle to Hayes. Ball comes out into the end zone. It will go out the back of the end zone, and that will be a touchback. So the Knight defense comes up big, stripping Hayes of the ball, and the Knights will take over on offense from their 20-yard line.
And you can see, Colby, like we were talking about earlier, those turnover margins the Knights had typically throughout the season been so good with. You can see there, forcing a fumble and getting that one back to be able to get this touchback here. And that just changed the game as LaGrange was inches away from scoring. They were right there and getting those 6 points to just put them up real quick in this first quarter. But now the Knights with the ball in a great position.
So Hayes was just about to cross the goal line when that ball was stripped. So the Knight defense comes up big, as we've seen time and time again this season, Jackson. And there will be a good pickup on first down, completion to Jarique Washington. Jarique was honored here before the game. One of the seniors from Southern Virginia, out of Orange County, Virginia. Second and 7. Swing pass out to Isaiah Maxey. And Maxey will take that up near a first down. Andy Hatch leading the way with the blocks. Seniors starting on offense here today. Cambridge Bingham at left tackle. Jarique Washington, as we said. Andy Hatch at tight end. Isaiah Maxey at receiver. Scott Dupay and Henry Audette. All were honored here in the pregame festivities. 3rd and 1 for the Knight offense. Roger Adam in the backfield. He'll take it, and he will push across the 30-yard line and get the first down.
And a good first down pickup. Nice simple run right up that middle, and was able to just get those yards that he needed. Keep the Knights alive.
Good for the Knights to come in and follow up that turnover with a first down on their first set of downs. And that pass dislodged there across the middle. Defensive play made there by Keon Stoudemire.
That was a big hit right there, and he was able to just pop it. Perfect timing as the ball hit the receiver. It was in his arms, but he was made contact with it at the exact same time. It was a good defensive play.
Pass
from LaGrange.
intended for Henry Audette right there. 2nd and 10. Out to Jairique Washington behind a block from Dupay. And Jairique will take that out across the 40-yard line for another Knight first down.
And there's a nice little screen pass right there. Washington was able to stay mobile, stay agile, and find that space to get those extra yards.
And a pass across the middle. And Dupay gets tackled before the pass arrives, and the officials will throw the flag.
That was a hit very similar to the one we saw earlier, but that one just a little too early.
And that will take the ball out to midfield. Knights will have it 1st and 10. A couple weeks ago, Jackson, we saw this Knight offense struggle a little bit to first of all, create some rhythm and then to maintain some momentum. And right here, this first drive looks good so far for the Knights. MJ Laws unable to haul that pass in. It will fall incomplete. The Knights will have 2nd and 10.
Yeah, like you were saying, the Knights struggled last time we were here and kind of finishing their drive and completing and putting some points on the board. The way they're driving, it's very similar, and they're driving really well right now, but if they can continue that and on top of it get some points on the board, that's really going to benefit them.
Roger Adam looking for the edge, and the Panthers defend that well. Adam will pick up just a yard on that carry, and that'll bring up 3rd and 9 for the Knights. Watson with an empty backfield. Quick pass across the middle looking for Dupay. That'll be incomplete. And the Knights will have 4th and 9 at the LaGrange 49-yard line. And Coach Joe Dupay will send the punting unit onto the field. Last week, the Knights lost Alex Passy to an injury. Scott Dupay now doing all the kicking duties for the Knights. And that punt will go down to the 14-yard line, where it is fair caught there by number 11, Kirk Scott. And LaGrange will take over 1st and 10 from their own 14-yard line.
Yeah, and while that drive for SVU wasn't maybe exactly what they wanted after that turnover, and they wanted to get some points on the board, we still saw some good things and good momentum from the Knights, and they're able to, with a pretty solid punt, pin them back within that 20-yard line. And if they can keep playing their defense, they can get this ball back.
I think Coach Dupay will be happy with that today if they can play the field possession game a little bit. Looking for a big play. And that's a direct snap to Scott. And Scott will pick up 5 yards on the carry. Scott is a freshman out of Richmond Hill, Georgia. Coach DeBay talked that he will take many of those snaps direct throughout this game. Second and 5. Broadnax looking for his receiver, and he's got him. And Blake Beardall giving chase, and that's going to be a touchdown for LaGrange. That goes to number 6, Ashton Bryant. So there is a big play. LaGrange strikes first, an 81-yard touchdown pass from Broadnax to Ashton Bryant.
Yeah, right there. You saw Broadnax didn't even wait long. Didn't even, let the play kind of develop. He saw it, he turned, and he put it downfield. It was a perfect spot where wide receivers able to get his fingers on that and secure that, and then it was a race off to the end zone.
Yeah, Bryant just had a step on Beardall. Beardall was right there with him, and he made a good snag. He had to reach out in front of him. Like you said, a perfect pass out in front, and Bryant did a good job of bringing that ball in and finishing the play. So the extra point is good, and with 6 minutes and 53 seconds left in the first quarter, LaGrange takes a 7-0 lead. And we will be right back with the kickoff. Welcome back here to Knight Stadium as we await the kickoff. Number 14, Landon Eaker, will be kicking away to Cruz Sage and Jax Vanchieri. It'll be Sage. And Sage with some room up the middle, and he will take the ball out to the 31-yard line.
And this right here is a good opportunity for the Knights. Now they're down 7. They got a little bit to go off of. They've had their offense take a drive already, and they can kind of settle in. But now this is the opportunity where they really need to take advantage of. They really need to get downfield and create themselves an opportunity.
Antoine Mills in the backfield with Watson. He'll get the give. And he will go around the left side of the line and pick up 2 yards on that carry. That'll bring up second down, 8 yards to go. Ball on the Knight 33-yard line. Watson looking downfield and just a little too far out in front of Jerick Washington.
That was a really good play, and it developed really well. And Watson was able to see that pass, and he saw the opportunity, and he put it there. And he just was just a little bit too much, and that would have been a really good opportunity right there. That would have been a breakaway right for the Knights.
Washington able to get some separation there, so they had that play. The Knights will look at that and know that they can get some separation between the receivers and the defensive backs of LaGrange. 3rd and 8. Screen pass out to Adam, and he will be stacked up at the LaGrange 37-yard line and brought down, and that's going to bring up 4th and 4 for the Knight offense. And once again, the punting unit will come out and kick it away. Kirk Scott once again back to receive for LaGrange. Dupay with the kick and gets an SVU bounce, and it will roll down to the LaGrange 11-yard line before it is down. Down there by Dominic Bosco.
And that was a good punt, more so a good roll. I mean, that punt wasn't very far. Not as far as he maybe I would have wanted, but was able to roll and kind of gain that extra yardage, and it puts him right on that 11-yard line. And once again, another good opportunity for the Knights defense to make a stand.
LaGrange was able to get a little bit of pressure there, so Scott did what he could. He got it away, and I think one of the goals there is to keep it out of the hands of Kirk Scott. So he was able to keep the ball away and get that good roll down to the 11-yard line. 1st and 10. And this is Scott in the backfield, taking the snap. He fakes the pitch, and he'll take it out to the 15-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play. Spike Adams with the stop. 2nd and 6. Broadnax back into the backfield. Colby Crawford goes out wide now. Empty backfield. And a quick pass out to Crawford, and he will be brought down. Spike Adams once again on the tackle, but not before LaGrange picks up a 1st down. 1st and 10 from the LaGrange 23. Right there, Jackson. Panther offense just played the numbers game. They stacked those receivers out there. Knights really did a good job of defending that.
Yeah, they did do a good job of defending it, but it was just not quite enough, you know. When you only need about 4 yards to go, then they're able to get that.
Broadnax flushed from the pocket, and he will be chased out of bounds by Spike Adams and Cade Hansen at the 31-yard line. So that'll be a pickup of 8 and bring up 2nd and 2. Knights secondary doing a good job in coverage there. Broadnax recognizes that and was able to scramble for 8 yards. Broadnax with the give. That one there goes to number 9, Andreas Anderson. Third and 1. Knights defend that run well. Knights looking for a big play on defense. Broadnax with a pass out wide, and he has Stillwell there with the catch. And Ty Smith will bring Stillwell down at the 43-yard line of Southern Virginia. So LaGrange now into SVU territory. First and 10, LaGrange. Swing pass goes out. Once again, that is Andreas Anderson, and he will take it down to the SVU 19-yard line.
Yeah, and this LaGrange offense is really just marching down this field. I mean, play by play, nothing huge at a time, but those 8-10 yards are really adding up.
I think what we're seeing right now, Jackson, is this offense just has so many different weapons that they're able to use. So many different players have already touched the ball here in this first quarter for the Panthers. And there's a give. That's to Hayes. Flag on the play. Traden Henderson on the stop. That will be a hold on LaGrange, and that will back them up 10 yards to the SVU 29-yard line.
Yeah, and like you were saying earlier, Colby, the LaGrange offense just has so many weapons. I mean, their bag is just so deep, and they have a good quarterback with a good arm, and he's accurate, and they have plenty of wide receivers that he can throw to, and likewise, he's got a running back, and sometimes he doesn't take the snap. Sometimes he's not on the field with a direct snap from Scott. They just have so many different options that they can go to. If something's not working, they can switch it up really easily.
1st and 20. Stillwell in motion. Broadnax looking for Stillwell in the corner, and that will fall incomplete. Lucas Martin defending. That'll bring up 2nd and 20 for LaGrange. Broadnax with Hayes in the backfield with him. Crawford in motion. Broadnax will leave the pocket, throw on the run, looking into the end zone, and that will be a touchdown, LaGrange. And it looks like, once again, that is Ashton Bryant.
And Broadnax with a great throw. I mean, he stepped out of that pocket as he had collapsed quickly, and he just stepped, swung, didn't even really set his feet, and I thought it was going to be a little off. I thought it was going to be too far, but his receiver was able to get there and get his feet and bounce and his hands on that ball, and it was really a great throw.
Great throw, great catch. And Eaker's kick is no good. So that will take LaGrange out to a 13-0 lead with 1:21 left in this first half. First quarter, rather. So Jackson, the night offense, they're coming out now. They're down 13 here in the first quarter. They really need to come up with a drive here to stay in touch with this Panthers team.
Yeah, they really need to find their spark on this drive, and it would be really beneficial to them. It wouldn't be the end of things, but if they're able to find a spark and kind of get going offensively, it would really kind of change this game. And while they've had their defensive moments, but they haven't been able to be consistent through it as they're down 13. If they're able to find it offensively and get some points on the board and really get them going, give them some life.
They've had some rhythm on offense, just haven't been able to complete any drives thus far. So look to take the next step here. Once again, it's Sage and Vanchieri back to receive. Eaker's kick is away. Once again, Crew Sage will take it from his 5. Goes up the middle and brought down at the 27-yard line, we'll call it. The referees will actually give him out to the 28-yard line. Devin Watson brings his offense out. looking to sustain a drive here and put some points up on the board. Pass out wide to Jalen Lackey. Complete. And that will go for a loss of 1 on the play. Flag comes in before the snap. Looks like that will be a penalty on Southern Virginia. A little early movement on the offensive line. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 16 now. Watson back to pass, going deep, and once again, just beyond the outstretched hands of his receiver, Jalen Lackey.
That's a very difficult throw to make from Watson. I mean, you got, 2 collapsing on his receiver and 1 trailing, and so you got to put it far enough that it's only him who can get there. Put it just a little bit too short, and it's a pick, right? So it's smarter to put it a little too far where it's just out of reach for him, but it's just such a difficult throw, especially trying to find that path too. It makes it really hard for Watson to predict and know how far he needs to put that one.
3rd and 16, Watson under pressure, able to get it away. It'll fall incomplete. Devin was looking for Antoine Mills there out of the backfield as he was under duress in a hurry. Jackson going back to that previous play, that pass out to Lackey. We're seeing once again, though, the Knight receivers able to get beyond, the secondary coverage out there.
Yeah,
so something that perhaps they can make a connection here sometime throughout this game.
Yeah, I was just going to agree that they've seen those moments where they've burst through the secondary, and that's kind of the second, maybe third opportunity they've had downfield. And if they're able to connect on that, that's really going to bring them up, and that's exactly the kind of thing that they need right now for this SVU offense.
Once again, Scott Dupay able to do a good job keeping the ball away from Kirk Scott. A 42-yard punt will take LaGrange into their territory, and they will start 1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line. Kirk Scott in at quarterback for this first snap in this series. And some early movement there. That will back LaGrange up 5 yards. So that will put LaGrange in 1st and 15. Gives the Knight defense an opportunity to dig in. Broadnecks with a pass out. That was intended there for Aaron Bryant, number 5.
Once again, a very difficult pass to make from Broadnecks. I mean, he's got to put it high enough that it doesn't get picked or tipped, but can't put it too high. As you see it, it'll go out of bounds. So it's a very difficult thing, not a necessarily dangerous throw to make, but just a little bit too high.
Got to be a little wary of the Knight cornerbacks and safeties out there. You got Ty Smith with 4 interceptions on the season, Tony Napper with 3. Scott Direct snap, and he'll run the ball. And he will take it across the 30 to the 32-yard line. And that will bring up 3rd and 11. But not before we take a break here between the first and second quarters, as the clock now expires on the first quarter. A quarter that saw the LaGrange Panthers put 2 touchdowns up on the board, and they lead 13-0. Welcome back to Knight Stadium for the beginning of the second quarter, where LaGrange finds themselves in a 3rd and 11 from their own 32-yard line. And Jackson, an opportunity for the Knight defense to come up with a play and allow their offense to get back onto the field.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for that Knight defense after 2 back-to-back touchdown drives. If they're able to stop this one, shut it down, they're able to find their momentum once again.
Pass in the flat goes out to Hayes, and he will be brought down at the 41-yard line. So a pickup of 14, and that'll bring up 4th and a long 1 yard for the Panthers.
And this is a good spot for LaGrange. I mean, they've only got 1 yard, and so they have to think about, if they want to punt or not. And they don't have to be too aggressive. It's early in the game, and they're already up. But they still got to take in mind that if they turn it over, they put the Knights in a great position.
So it looks like the offense is staying on the field. And now there's a timeout called by Coach Wes Dodson. They're going to go ahead and spend that timeout and talk this over.
And you can just see how he wants to have that confirmation that he gets that right play call up, and that he's able to make sure that he keeps this possession. It'll be very important for him as they're trying to maintain that ball, and they don't want to give up that great field position. If they're able to just get this first down and keep moving with it, gives them another opportunity.
Coach Dodson, of course, having a great season here with his Panthers. We talked about at the top of the broadcast how they were selected to finish number 4 in the preseason poll. And now they are the conference champions and heading to the NCAA Division III championship. Looks like he has elected to keep his offense on the field. Kirk Scott is going to handle the snap. Scott will go around the left side. The Knights stack him up, and it looks like he was able to pick up that first down. And number 95, Traden Henderson, or 93, I believe that is. Number 93, Connor Owens, a little slow getting up.
Number 99, Kavika Bringhurst. But he's up on his own power, on his own will, and walking off by himself.
Always good to see. Been so fortunate this season. During any injury timeouts, everybody's pretty much always been able to get up and walk off the field under their own power. Once again, the result of that play was a first down. So 1st and 10 LaGrange from just inside their 45-yard line. Broadnecks back to throw, looking for Bryant, and a great pass break up there by Tony Napper.
Now some great defense. I mean, he was right there the whole time. There's a little bit of space, maybe enough for that pass, but he was able to turn, find that ball at the exact right moment and get his hand and swat that down. Some great defense, great pass breakup.
2nd and 10 coming up. 13:48 left in this first half. Stillwell in motion. And that will be, looks like an 8-yard gain for LaGrange. That's Aaron Bryant. That'll bring up 3rd and 2 for the Panthers. Once again, the night defense looking to come up with a play to get the ball back. Broadnecks. And that's the first time we see Takaris Bozeman carry the ball here in this game. Again, Bozeman, the offensive player of the week in the USA South. He carries that for a first down. 1st and 10 LaGrange from the Southern Virginia 43-yard line. Broadnecks being chased, gets away and able to complete the pass to Aaron Bryant. And there's a penalty flag in the backfield. There was a gain of 1 on the play. And that's going to be a roughing the passer penalty against Southern Virginia. And so that will tack 15 yards on to that 1-yard gain and also give LaGrange a first down.
Yeah, that's a great play by the Knights. They caused that pressure, and they only allowed 1 yard after that pass. But just with that penalty right there, it's just another first down and another couple 15 yards that LaGrange is able to use and put them within that 30-yard line now.
Scott once again in the backfield. He'll take it. And finally brought down by Tanner Evans and Lucas Martin after a pickup of 4 yards on the play. Ball sits on the 23-yard line now of Southern Virginia. 2nd and 6 for the Panthers. Scott once again will take the snap. Crawford in motion. Scott's looking to pass. Pass intended for Stillwell. It'll fall incomplete and bring up 3rd and 6.
Yeah, you can see Scott Now it's his first pass attempt of today, but he's taken so many snaps. And you can just see the similarities of like Taysom Hill in the NFL, and you can just see how he takes that snap and is able to kind of choose where the play is kind of going and make his options, and he's got his options and he's able to make his choices. And it just makes it so hard to defend because he can kind of do anything.
Yeah, he doesn't throw the ball an awful lot. It's a little wrinkle there. Broadnax back to pass, throws behind his receiver. That'll bring up 4th and 6 from the 23-yard line. So we'll see here if Coach Dodson elects to try a field goal, which would be at about 40 yards, or if he's going to go for it. Looks like his offense will stay on the field. Again, they need 6 yards for the first down.
Big opportunity here for the Knights to able to get their ball back.
The SVU really needs this stop right here, get the ball back without LaGrange putting up any points. Broadnax going into the end zone. And there'll be a flag thrown there. Likely pass interference on Southern Virginia. But will be pass interference going against the Knights.
And that's it. That's a huge penalty for the Knights. Is they were going to get that ball back right on that 25-yard line, but instead it's 1st and goal, and LaGrange has just another even better opportunity to get some points.
So that'll be 1st and goal for the Panthers at the SVU 8-yard line. Broadnax to throw once again. Pass is caught by Bryant. And into the end zone for the touchdown.
Ashton Bryant, and you could see that pass for him was a little high to get up there, high point that ball, but he's able to. And as he's losing his balance, falling backwards, he's able to find it and quickly avoid that tackle and turn up just for another 2 yards, just enough to get into the end zone. A good effort by Bryant.
So that is Ashton Bryant's 3rd touchdown catch already on the day. And Eaker's kick is up and good. And so with 11 minutes and 1 second remaining in this first half, LaGrange leads by a score of 20-0.
And with the Knights about to get this ball, they got to make something happen right now, because this is the point where LaGrange can really run away with it and kind of shut down the game already, even though it's early. But if the Knights are able to get some points on the board, it kind of gives them a little bit more to work with.
I'd agree with that. This is a big possession for Southern Virginia, as they really need the offense to be able to get on track, finish a possession, put some points up on the board. Once again, it'll be Sage and Vancheri back to receive the kickoff. This time it will be Carson Odom kicking it away. Once again, it will be Crew Sage on the return. Up the middle. A little room, breaks one tackle, and Sage is able to bring it out to the 33-yard line. And now a couple flags come in after the play.
There's a good return right there by Sage. He's able to get about 35 yards out of it. You saw he just was able to use his speed, find that gap, and bounce off a defender and get those extra yards, and that sets the Knights up with a good opportunity, to get this drive. And with this penalty, we'll see how that changes things.
After the play is over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, play hit, on the team number 4, 15 on penalty, gather.
So that will be a late hit that will go against LaGrange, and that's going to give the Knights some excellent starting field position as they will now start at their own 48-yard line.
And with that penalty on top of the good return, it puts the Knight in a great opportunity. And like we were saying earlier, this is the drive where they really need to get some points on the board. And this sets them up for that.
Drop snap. Watson gets it away, and that is caught by MJ Laws, and he will go in for a touchdown. And I don't see any flags. Although the referees, there is a flag, and it looks like the initial indication will be offsides on LaGrange. And so that will be a touchdown. Devin Watson goes 52 yards to MJ Laws, and the Knights put some points up on the board.
And that's exactly what we were talking about, Colby. That's exactly what the Knights needed to stay in this thing, was just that spark, just that little momentum to catch her. And with that big-time play, 51 yards, Watson was able to put it in just a perfect spot, and they're able to get those 6 points. And after this kick, that'll be seven points, and now the Knights are just that much closer. They're only 2 scores down with still plenty of time in this ball game.
So Scott Dupay adds the extra point. Like you said, Jackson, 20-7. And now you got the Knight defense. Hopefully a little bit of momentum. Get to go out there, see if they can come up with a stop. Maybe another turnover and build on the momentum now that they're off the schneid. They've got some points up on the board.
And while last time when the Knights, the defense was just on the field, they allowed a touchdown. But with the Knights offense having a big-time play, maybe that's the momentum they kind of need to just, get that final 3rd down or that final 4th down.
Scott Dupay will kick the ball away to the Panthers. The Knights special team will see if they can come up with a big play. Of course, the Panthers, they'd love nothing more than to put a good return together right here and give their offense some good field position. Looks like Aaron Bryant will take it on the return. The referees whistle the play dead. So it looks like Bryant signaled for a fair catch, even though he took off on the return, but that'll place the ball at the 25-yard line. And that is where LaGrange will take over. Ten minutes, 41 seconds remaining here in this first half. Scott in at quarterback. He'll take it up the middle. And there, Trayden Henderson makes the stop. That time, Trayden just grabbed Scott around the midsection and picked him up to stop his forward progress. The freshman flexing a little muscle right there. Broadnecks with the give. That is Bozeman, and he goes up the middle for a gain of 6. And that will bring up 3rd down and 3 yards to go for this Panther offense.
And this is a big 3rd down here for both LaGrange and the Knights. If the Knights are able to get this 3rd down and force a punt at pace, that is the defensive momentum which they need.
And of course, LaGrange, last thing they want to do is do a 3 and out after giving up that touchdown. Broadnecks with the give to Hayes, and Hayes has some room. Breaks a tackle, and Hayes will take that down to the SVU 27-yard line before he is caught from behind by Lucas Martin and brought down.
That was a great run right there, finding that gap and remaining somewhat untouched up until about 10 yards out of that line of scrimmage.
The LaGrange offensive line really doing a good job here today of making some holes to spring their runners. Broadnecks going to the end zone, looking for Stillwell, and that will go incomplete. Defended there by Ty Smith.
It was a good pass. It was right in the area that he would have wanted it to be able to make that catch, but just a little bit too high as you were able to see. And
2nd and 10. Broadnecks once again gives it to Hayes, and Hayes goes through the left side and picks up 9 yards. Brings up 3rd and 1. 7 minutes, 50 seconds left in this first half. LaGrange in the red zone now at the SVU 19-yard line. The pitch to Hayes, and Hayes will be tackled at the 15-yard line. Lucas Martin there, along with Spike Adams. Hayes picks up the 1st down. Referees will spot the ball. This is the 15-yard line. Broadnecks up the middle on the keeper. And Jamar Robinson will trip him up. Broadnecks, though, will get down to the 10-yard line. The 2nd and 5.
LaGrange in a very dangerous spot right here if they're able to get this this ball in the end zone. The Knights got to stay strong, and while they are kind of pinched back, they still got to stay strong with their defense right now.
Scott in the backfield to take the snap, fakes the pitch, almost brought down, but he's able to get away, reverses field, and now Scott will carry it into the end zone for a touchdown, Panthers.
And if you're a Panther, LaGrange Panther right there, that is the exact outcome, the exact response that you want to see, as they submitted a touchdown, but they were able to get theirs right back and put themselves up.
The Knight defense had Scott behind the line of scrimmage for a loss. He somehow was able to wiggle free, reverse field, and go into the end zone. Eaker's kick is good. So with 6 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in the first half, LaGrange 27, SVU 7.
Saving the carry back to his team for the night. Aiden is set to kick off for LaGrange here in the second quarter.
Welcome back here to Knight Stadium, where LaGrange leads the Knights 27-7. Carson Odom to kick the ball away after the LaGrange touchdown. Crusage will take it from his goal line. And he will take it out to the 21-yard line, where he is hit and brought down by Tavares Simmons. Flag on the play. That will be a hold going against Southern Virginia. And so they will start 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line. Jackson, that's not the way the Knights wanted to start this possession.
Yeah, no, it makes it really difficult, and their return was all right. They're able to get to that 20-yard line, but now that they're just within that 10, it's a very, very hard spot to be.
Pitch to Sage, and he will be strung out by the Panther defense for no gain. They'll bring up 2nd and 10. Antoine Mills in the backfield with Watson. And Watson just misses. Mahanray Smith follow. Third and 10, Knights. The Knight offense here in need of a big play. Washington looking for the first down, and he will get it.
Good catch and run by Washington. Watson was pressured very heavy, and LaGrange has been doing that all season, is pressuring super heavy, but Watson was able to get that pass off, and Washington was able to kind of on the rope, on that line, get those extra yards to get this first down.
Mills with the carry, stacked up behind the line of scrimmage and brought down. That's going to be a loss of 2 on the play. Anthony Lovett and Zamarian Hudson on the stop. You mentioned the pressure on Watson on that previous play, and we talked about LaGrange's defense, best in the country at sacks. With that being said, the Knights, Watson has not been sacked so far today. Pass complete to Henry Audette, and he will go for a gain of 5, and that will put the Knights into a manageable 3rd and 5.
Yeah, like you were saying earlier, Colby's LaGrange typically has been very good at pressuring and sacking, and they just haven't got as many pressures.
And that pass intended for Jalen Lackey is picked off by LaGrange. That is number 38, Dion King Jr. with the pick. King is a senior out of Vienna, Georgia. And that will put LaGrange in very good field position. 1st and 10 from the SVU 21-yard line.
And looking back at that play, it looked like it was just a great read. I mean, he kind of saw the play developing, and he saw the quarterback. He saw Watson's eyes, and he just picked it right off, made it nice and easy for him. It was right in front of him.
Broadnecks to the end zone, looking for Stillwell, and that falls incomplete, defended there by Ty Smith and Lucas Martin. Situation here where the Knights desperately need for the defense to hold their ground. Broadnecks. Stillwell with the catch. And ball's on the ground, and it will go out of bounds. So that will be a gain of 7 on the play.
There's the opportunity right there for the Knights to get that ball back after that fumble, but it just was able to get out of bounds. But you can see how they're fighting for those extra plays, for those special plays and those turnovers to put themselves back into this.
Gabe Tarver checks in for the Knights. 3rd and 3. Broadnecks rolling to his right, goes to the end zone, and that will be incomplete out of the back of the end zone. That'll bring up 4th and 3. And it looks like Coach Wes Dodson is going to send out the field goal unit. Number 14, Eaker, is on the field. Eaker from the right hash, 31-yard attempt. And it is good. So that will put the Panthers out to a 30-7 lead with 3:09 left in this first half.
Yeah, and looking back at that drive, thinking back to how it kind of started, it started all with that defensive interception. And with the ball placement that LaGrange was able to have, it was somewhat of a win for the Knights as they were able to keep them out of that end zone and force a field goal, which obviously they don't want those to allow that field goal, but with those 3 points for the situation they're in, that was pretty good.
Now they'll take the 3 points. The defense able to stand up and hold them to just the 3 points. And so with just over 3 minutes remaining in this first half, the Knight offense will have one more opportunity to see if they can cut into that 23-point lead. Carson Odom.
And if you're the Knights, I mean, you're receiving this next half, and so you'll have the ball once again. But if you're able to put the ball in the end zone again, and you get the ball back second half, and you're able to do the same thing, you set yourself up for a lot better situation. So if the Knights are able to put this one in the end zone, or at least get some points on the board, that'll give them just some momentum to go into the locker room with.
No, it's a good point that they are receiving the second half kickoff, so they have an opportunity to put up 2 scores here. Odom's kick goes into the end zone. That'll be a touchback. So the Knight offense will start at their 25-yard line.
And the Knights, they've had a big-time play on that 51-yard touchdown pass, and those are the only points they've had this game. And so you know they're capable of it, but one thing I have to do is be careful because 3 minutes is not a lot of time, but also is a lot of time. And if they do score very quickly, then the ball goes back to LaGrange with enough time that they can do something as well. We've seen they've scored very quickly too.
The give to Roger Adam, and he will be stopped for no gain. And so far, Jackson, the Knights have had a tough time getting their running game going.
Yeah, they've really kind of struggled in their run game, not getting any very big runs. And while they don't have to get a big run every single time, right, but they just haven't really had kind of the run that they're trying to go for. You know, they haven't really got those yards that they're trying to intentionally get.
Watson looks to pass, he steps up. Under pressure, throws across the middle, almost picked off, but there's a flag on the play. And they are going to get a personal foul roughing the passer against LaGrange, so that will give the Knights 15 yards and a first down. Takes them out to their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, and if you're the Knights, I mean, that pressure that you just had kind of takes off, and they're able to get those extra yards. And, you know, now they're getting close to that midfield, with still with plenty of time for them to work with. Of 2 minutes, 22 seconds left, and they still have their 2-minute timeout.
The time really not an issue on this possession for the Knights. Watson back to pass, under pressure once again, gets it away, and that will fall incomplete and bring up 2nd and 10. Pass intended for Isaiah Maxey. So we just talked about on that previous possession, you know, this defense hadn't been able to get to Watson, and now we see 2 plays in a row where they're able to get, you know, they're getting quarterback hurries on in the last 2 plays.
Yeah, they're able to. The defensive line has been able to find these gaps, and here's another pressure.
Screen pass. Knights set up the screen, but it is read well by LaGrange. Antoine Mills dropped for no gain.
And you can see the defensive pressure as Watson had to get that ball off quick, and he was pressured and kind of struggled, but he was able to get it off, make that completion. But then once again, immediately there was another pressure, and he was able to be brought down for just a no-yard gain.
Anthony Lovett making the stop. So we have reached the 2-minute timeout here in this first half, where LaGrange leads by a count of 30-7. And so far, Jackson, you know, the Knights, they have those 7 points, but the offense has really struggled to sustain the drives thus far. At the moment, the Knight offense has tallied a total of 96 yards on the day. You have Watson with 9 completions for 94 yards and, you know, just 2 yards rushing. So the Knights really need to figure something out on that. You know, be able to get that running game going a little bit.
Yeah, and that's something that's going to be very important, because they're going to have times when they're going to have to run. They're going to have to make that run. If their run game isn't really going, it makes things a lot harder. And obviously, run game is a lot safer than their passing game. And while the Knights are really great at passing at times, and they have their moments and their drives, the run game is just so crucial.
And the snap gets away, and Watson is going to be taken down back at the 20-yard line. And that's going to bring up 4th and 30 yards. And timeout is taken. LaGrange takes the timeout as their defense has forced a 4th and 30.
And you could see LaGrange after that forced that 4th and 40, and 30, and they got a lot of room for that first down. So the Knights are going to have to punt, but LaGrange will have a great opportunity for themselves with 1:50 seconds, and they still will have another timeout to work with clock. But if they're able to get something out of it,
yeah, they're looking at having pretty good field position to start here. So the Knight defense once again be asked to answer the call. Scott Dupay, a good kick, sends Scott back to his 43-yard line to make the catch.
And a nice good long punt from Dupay. Was able to put LaGrange just about as far as you can.
The referees will spot that at the 44-yard line of LaGrange, where they'll have 1:45 left in the first half. Will be Broadnax with Hayes in the backfield. Broadnax looking to throw. He has 2 receivers in the area, and that'll be brought in. Aaron Bryant on the catch and into the end zone. And the Panthers have another touchdown here in this first half.
And it almost seemed as if there's just a little bit of miscommunication on the defensive side. As there's 2 receivers that were open. I mean, one was more open in that target, and he was able to make that catch and that touchdown. But it just was a lot of space for LaGrange to work with. And just like that, as they were able to force that 3 and out, get their ball back, and put themselves up even another. And now they're up 30.
Extra point is good by Eaker to take the score out. 37-7. LaGrange leads here. 1:37 left in this first half. The Knight offense will get another opportunity here in this first half.
You can see the Panthers starting to kind of pull away with this, at least in this first half, with such a big margin of score. And they just have had momentum, especially offensively. I mean, they haven't really been able to be stopped. And the Knights have typically done that so well over this season. You can just see how good this LaGrange offense really is.
No, they are definitely clicking on all cylinders here today. LaGrange nearing 400 yards of total offense in this first half. Crusade from his goal line Stacked up, bounces off, and he will now take that out over the 20-yard line. SVU will have 1st and 10 from their 22-yard line with 1 minute 30 seconds remaining in this first half.
And the Knights now with this ball back about that 21, 22-yard line. They have a lot of room, but they still have 1 minute 20, minute 30. They got 3 full timeouts. And if you're a Knight, you're just hoping they can do something with this.
Again, they'll receive the second half kickoff. So time on the clock, opportunity to put up a score here before they head into the locker room. Pitch to Tyreek Washington, and that is read and defended well by LaGrange. And that, once again, Dion King Jr. He's had a big first half here. An interception. There's a tackle for a loss of 5 on the play, 2nd and 15.
And it makes things very hard for an offense to work with and to function with.
Watson keeps it around the left side, and he take it out near a 1st down. 30-yard line. Be 3rd and 2. 38 seconds left in this first half. Watson with the give up the middle for a 1st down. Antoine Mills on the carry. That'll stop the clock. Referees have now wound it, and it looks like SVU will be content to run the clock out, head into the locker room. So we are at halftime here at Knight Stadium, where the LaGrange Panthers come out and played very well. They've come out to a 37-7 lead here in this first half. Jackson, like I said, the Panthers are near 400 yards of total offense in that first half. Now it looks like they've gone over 432 yards of total offense in the first half. The Knights, they're going to have to come out. They're going to have to play a little fast and furious on offense to score some points if they want to try and get back into the game. Meanwhile, LaGrange, they look as though they've settled in, and they're in a very comfortable spot now going in the second half.
Yeah, definitely. LaGrange is in a great spot right now, but the Knights are going to have to make a change, both offensively and defensively, and we've seen that they're capable of it. I mean, the Knights have had some good defensive moments, and they've had some good offensive moments, but what they need to do is they need to be consistent and find those moments and keep going with them, because while they have the chances, the opportunity, they just got to be consistent throughout that, and if the Knights are able to do that, it would change this game up a little, and they could slowly chip away.
And with that, we'll go ahead and take the halftime break. Again, here in Buena Vista, it's LaGrange 37, Southern Virginia 7. We'll be back with the second half.
Come on, let's give it up to our big team one more time. Come on, make some noise. is your very own Southern Virginia University marching band. Today, the band invites you into a world of color, energy, and pure joy with music from DreamWorks hit animated movie Trolls. Released in 2016, Trolls quickly became a fan favorite for audiences of all ages, blending value, animation, with an irresistible soundtrack full of pop hits and positive messages. So get ready to dance, smile, and sing along as we bring the magic of Trolls to the light on the field here at Southern Virginia.
He like semi-practiced in.
Yep. Our show opens with Anna Kendrick's upbeat anthem, Get Back Up Again. Featured early in the movie, this song celebrates optimism and determination in the face of challenges. The perfect message for souls everywhere. Released in 2016 as a part of the Trolls soundtrack, it became a fan favorite for its infectious melody and positive energy. Originally written and recorded by Kenny Lauper in 1986. This song was about a #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. In Soul, the song was performed by Anna Kendrick and Justin Timberlake during one of the movie's most heartfelt moments, reminding us that love and friendship shine brighter when we show our true selves. The players have showed that Justin Timberlake master can't stop the feeling. For this performance, the night marching band will be joined on the field by the Parameter High School Band. Written controls were released in 2016. This feel-good anthem top charts around the world. Won a Grammy Award and earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Original Song. With this irresistible groove and unstoppable feel, it's the perfect finale to our celebration of all things roll. We want to take time to thank our incredible service junior cheer, dance, and marching band team for a great fall season. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication to night athletics. Please, sports fans, could you show your appreciation with a round of applause to all these fine athletes and participants. attention. Please turn your attention to the field. We have some breaking news. Today, SBU has 3 all-region runners finishing in the top 20. Today, this morning, Haley Horner, Tasha Brady, and Bailey Ward Armstrong are the 3 top 20 runners. Can you give it up for our sports fans?
Welcome back here to the campus of Southern Virginia University Knight Stadium, where the Knights are taking on the LaGrange Panthers here in this season finale. LaGrange leads by a score of 37-7. And LaGrange will kick off to begin this second half. Carson Odom back to kick. And it is Crew Sage and Jax Vanchieri back to receive for the Knights. Sage takes it at his 2-yard line. He's got a running lane, and Sage will take it out to the 40-yard line. And that is where Devin Watson will bring out his offense, and they will start as they will look to chip away at this 30-point lead that LaGrange currently carries. Once again, I'm Colby Kemp. Jackson McDonald here on the call this afternoon. Jackson, Knights really need to come away with some points here in this first drive of the second half.
Yeah, Colby, definitely. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And off that kick return, that's a pretty great way to kind of get things back going, get the second half started, and there's plenty of ball game left, right? And little miss snap there.
Miscommunication on that snap, and Watson has to go back to recover it. That's going to be a loss of 14 on the play.
Well, heart attack there for the Knights. He just wasn't even looking. Makes things just a little bit more difficult here for the Knights. Had a great return, just now they're back with 2nd and 30.
Pass complete. DJ Perry with the reception out to the 33-yard line, so it's going to be 3rd and 17 after a pickup of 7 on the play.
Knights need a big play, a lot of yards on this one.
Screen pass, and that is dropped. And that will bring up 4th and long for the Knights. And they'll have to kick it away. Scott Dupay back to punt. He stands at his 21-yard line. And Kirk Scott back for the Panthers makes the fair catch at the Panther 35-yard line.
And Colby, as we were talking about earlier, specifically this end of the first half, we were talking about how the Knights defense really needs to step it up here. And we've seen how they've been able to perform, and we know that they're capable of forcing 3 and outs and big plays and turnovers and stuff, but they just haven't quite yet. And they need to start doing that and need to get that going now if they want to stay in this ball game.
Kirk Scott with the pitch to Crawford. And Crawford will take the ball out to the LaGrange 43-yard line. Bring up 2nd and 2. And Jackson, it won't be surprising at all if in the second half the Panthers kind of keep the ball on the ground for the most part, let that clock tick away.
Yeah, I mean, if I was in that coaching position, that's exactly what I'd be doing with this lead. I mean, you don't need a whole lot more, and they have a great run game, and if they just run this clock out, run this ball, that makes it really hard for the Knights to even do anything about it offensively when they're just so low on time.
And with that being said, Broadnax puts it up Brought in by Aaron Bryant, and Bryant is going to go to the end zone, and that'll be a touchdown, LaGrange.
That was a fantastic throw by Brodnix.
Landon Eaker on to try the extra point. And Eaker's kick is up and good. And that takes LaGrange out to a 37-point lead.
Yeah, and going back to that touchdown pass, I mean, Brodnix was able to put that ball right over Ty Smith, just over his hands. But also, there's enough space where it wasn't conflicted. It was Beardall was right there covering his man. And then it was short enough that looks like it was number 23 on the Knights defense, their safety. Just barely missed kind of that grab, trying to slow down that play, and then it was off to the races for that touchdown. But a fantastic pass, deep pass, great placement.
And these Panther receivers have a lot of speed. Once they get the ball, they are finding the gaps and outrunning that Knight defense. Odom, once again, kicks it away. Sage at his 5. And there he runs in to number 29 from LaGrange. That is Denver Comstock. So Sage stopped at the 20-yard line. And once again, the Knights will take over. As they look to cut into this Panther lead. Mills in motion, and the play will be whistled dead. The Knights will get a 5-yard penalty with a delay of game.
And that's just another penalty for the Knights. It just makes it that much more difficult on this drive. And if you're a Knight fan, I mean, you just want to see them get some more points on the board. Just kind of lessen that deficit.
Watson pass over the middle, looking for Isaiah Maxey, incomplete. Bring up 2nd and 15. Yeah, unfortunately for the Knight offense, both their drives in the second half have started by going backwards. First, it was miscommunication on the snap, and this time the 5-yard penalty for delay. Watson, quick pass out to Maxey. Maxey will take the ball back out to the 20-yard line. Get the yardage back, lost on the penalty. Referees actually spotted at the 21, so that brings up 3rd and 9 for this Knight offense. Empty backfield for Watson. 5 receivers. Under pressure, thrown out into the flat, and that is picked off again. That's Dion King Jr. into the end zone, but there is a flag on the play. So we will await the call. Looks like there are 3 flags out on the field, so we'll await the referees as they sort this out.
After the interception, there was a block in the back by the interception team number 26. That foul will be declined. Before the interception, pass interference. Defense, number 38.
So there were 2 fouls on the play. The first flag, the referee explained, was a block in the back after the interception. But the flags that were thrown initially were for pass interference on LaGrange. So fortunate for the Knights there as they'll retain possession. Ball will be placed at the 26-yard line, which is where the interference occurred.
Knights kind of getting away with that one. And they're able to get themselves a new set of downs, which will really help them.
1st and 10. Watson. Screen pass is tipped, but Jerick Washington able to make the catch and take it out to the 35-yard line, 34-yard line. Gain of 8 on the play, 2nd and 2. Watson again looks to throw. Another flag thrown on the play. Pass is incomplete, looking for Jerick Washington once again. We await the call from the official. And that'll be a holding call against the Knights. That brings up 2nd and 12. And Jackson, we're kind of seeing now the LaGrange defense, they're just really being super aggressive along that front line. More penalty flags now.
And you can see there's some more aggression as we await the call, but it looks like it edge rusher jumped off. And so that offsides will kind of counteract the previous.
It'll at least knock 5 yards, so Knights will now have 2nd and 7. And that again, kind of the result of the LaGrange defense just really able to free will at this point.
Yeah, I mean with that 30-plus point cushion, right? They have a lot, and they're okay with these sort of penalties. While it's not ideal, you know, they have room to spare.
Watson out to Isaiah Maxey, and Maxey takes it out to the 42-yard line of Southern Virginia, gives them a 1st and 10.
That was a good pass, good catch. Was able to turn that corner and drag his defender for a couple yards.
Watson steps up, and he is tripped and brought down. That is number 10, Desmond Jones. That'll go in the books as a sack for LaGrange. Loss of 2 on the play, 2nd and 12. Lackey in motion. Watson, quick pass across the middle, just behind Henry Audette. And now the Knights have 3rd and 12. Again, that Panther defense really able to apply the pressure on Watson.
Yeah, it makes things just that much harder for him, right? It adds a whole other factor to the game, and so now the Knights are stuck with a 3rd and long situation.
Screen pass, tipped and caught by Henry Audette, but he is brought down again. That's Desmond Jones making the play. And 4th and 11 coming up. Scott Dupay back to punt. Kirk Scott back to receive for LaGrange.
And you can see Colby as SVU goes to punt this. They just, once again, they've just struggled to find their momentum offensively.
And DePay starts to run, brings it down, and now gets away a great punt. And that will be downed at the LaGrange 19-yard line.
It was a great job by DuPay finding that space. It wasn't necessarily going to run. That wasn't maybe his initial thought, but he was just trying to find those extra yards. Maybe find a gap as a punter. And you can, he's not specifically just a punter. He's also a tight end. So, he's mobile and agile. But he made a great punt and was able to put the LaGrange offense within that 20-yard line.
Gives them a little bit of time, too, for the coverage to get down and make a play. As a result, LaGrange inside their 20-yard line. 9 minutes, 50 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Hayes, and he will be brought down by Gabe Tarver. After a gain of 5. Panthers in no hurry with the 37-point lead. Hayes once again, and he will be brought down 2 yards short of the first down. Looks like Ty Smith. And Gabe Tarver also on the stop. Another give, and Hayes will gain the first down as he takes it out to the 31-yard line of LaGrange. Kirk Scott at quarterback for LaGrange. Scott will be brought down by Traden Henderson. A loss of 2 on the play. Looked like Scott thought about passing there for a second.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to make that pass and just wasn't quite there. Maybe in his mind it wasn't worth it, and so he kind of tucks and run.
Good pursuit by Henderson to catch him from behind and bring him down. Broadnecks looking downfield, and Tony Napper, good coverage there. Pass intended that time for Jonathan Lampkin. 3rd and 12 now for the Panthers. The Knights defense with the opportunity to get off the field. Broadnecks have the screen set up to Hayes, and Hayes picks up the first down, and he's free. But Ty Smith will catch him from behind, but not before Hayes will take the ball down to the SVU 12-yard line.
I mean, yeah, you saw he breaks through that gap, breaks the tackle, and just runs down. That was a great run, big time yards right there for LaGrange.
First and 10 from the SVU 12-yard line. Hayes having a big day so far here in Buena Vista. Over 200 yards of total offense for him. And there's a pass from Broadnax to Lampkin, and Lampkin goes into the end zone for a touchdown for LaGrange. And as we've talked about, Jackson, so many different weapons for this Panther offense. Lampkin becomes the 7th receiver on the day to catch a pass. That's the 6th touchdown pass on the day for Broadnax. And the Panthers now lead by a score of 51-7 with just under 6.5 minutes remaining in this third quarter.
Yeah, Colby, I think that drive was a great representation of how versatile this LaGrange offense is. As you know, they were able to get down into that red zone position through a big-time run, but then they're able to capitalize it on a nice, well, it was about 15-yard pass touchdown. And you can just see, again, with the seven total wide receivers making a catch of the day now, you can just see just how much depth and skill this LaGrange offense really has.
On the day, Hayes with 84 yards receiving on just 3 catches. And 97 yards on the ground. So 181 total yards for Hayes. And Broadnax, 423 yards passing, along with those 6 touchdown passes, like we said. Crusade on the return, takes it out to just shy of the 30-yard line, and a flag comes in at the end of the play. Referees sort this out. So there were 2 separate penalties on the play, one offsides on LaGrange. Second one on the return was a face mask, and so that will tack 15 yards on to the end of the return. And so the Knights will start 1st and 10 from their 45-yard line.
Knights with some good starting field position here.
Give up the middle to Roger Adam. He'll get 2 yards on the carry. And there's an injured Knight on the field, Trent Fuimaono. Trainers will attend to him, and we'll take a timeout. I'll be back with you in just a moment. Welcome back here to Knight Stadium. The injured player, Fuyamano, is able to leave the field. Pass complete. Watson able to hit Andy Hatch with a completion. That'll go for a first down. So the senior on senior day, Andy Hatch, gets a completion. His teammates are happy for him. Watson incomplete, looking for MJ Laws. Talking to Coach Joe Dupay earlier, he mentioned Andy Hatch, a great emotional leader of this team, always picking up his teammates and doing all the little things behind the scenes.
And sometimes in a team, those players are the most important, as though they may not be on the field making plays and making a statement, but behind the scenes.
Pass complete. Henry Audette, senior tight end, with a nice reception to pick up 17 yards. We apologize for the technical difficulties. We got everything back and running, it appears. So there was a punt by LaGrange. And SVU will take over possession at their 31-yard line.
And while we're not sure if you guys are able to see or hear, the Knights were able to get a touchdown. It was about a 25-yard pass, Devin Watson to Jairique Washington. And now the Knights here, after forcing a punt with a ball.
Knights look for the screen pass. It was knocked down, and the referees are going to say it was not a forward pass for the moment. They have called it a recovered fumble, and they'll get together. So the referees talking it over at the moment. So that call will stand, calling it a backward pass, tipped by the defense and recovered. So the ball will be turned over to LaGrange as they recovered the ball, and they're going to have first and goal from the Southern Virginia 2-yard line.
That's just very unfortunate for the Knights, as they had a good opportunity, and that was a very, very close call, and it kind of could have gone either way. But now they're stuck, they're pinned on their 1-yard line in LaGrange with a great run games thus far.
Scott at quarterback, and he'll take the ball through the right side and into the end zone. Touchdown, LaGrange. And now a flag comes out on the play. So the penalty goes against Southern Virginia. That'll be a 15-yard penalty they'll enforce on the ensuing kickoff. Landon Eaker on to attempt the point after. And the kick is good, and that brings the score to 58-14. LaGrange leads. So due to the penalty, the Panthers will be kicking off from the 50-yard line. Carson Odom will kick it away. Crusage and Jax Fancheri, as they have all game, are back to receive. Pooch kick. And Sage picks it up. LaGrange covers the kick very well, and with that, unfortunately for the Knights, they will start at their 12-yard line.
The Knights again, just with a very difficult drive and a very difficult opportunity, being pinned back in their own 12-yard line on this drive specifically.
And that pass is tipped and picked off by number 13 for LaGrange, Brandon Brooks, and he takes it back for a pick six. Once again, Eaker on for the extra point. The kick by Eaker is good. LaGrange leads 65-14 with 3 minutes, 14 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Welcome back here to Knight Stadium as Carson Odom kicks off following the touchdown for LaGrange. And that ball will roll all the way through the end zone. So Southern Virginia will start at their 25-yard line. Knight offense out on the field. Hand off to Roger Adam. Adam will take that out to the 32-yard line. Pickup of 7 on the play. Watson keeps it. Pitch to Jalen Lackey.
There's a nice triple option on that one as Watson pulls, gets a couple yards, pushes the ball up, and then pitches it out for another couple yards, and they'll get them that first down. Good play by the Knights.
First and 10 from their 42-yard line. A couple new players into the game along the offensive line. Number 75, Peyton Brown. The end around to Lackey, and Lackey across midfield to the LaGrange 49-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 1. And timeout on the field. Looks like timeout was called by LaGrange. So we'll go ahead and take this timeout. Be right back in just a moment. Welcome back to Knight Stadium. 2nd and 1 for the Knight offense. Watson, quick pass out in the flat, and that is incomplete. Once again, the pressure of that Panther defense forcing Watson to get rid of that ball a little bit earlier than I think he wanted to.
There's a big 3rd down for this drive. I mean, they only have a yard to go, but if they want to keep this one alive, they got to get it right now.
The give to Mills. Antoine goes around the left side of the line, and he'll pick up that 1st down.
Nice run, little jump cut towards that gap that his line made for him, and he's able to get those yards to get his 1st down. It was a good run.
First and 10 from the LaGrange 47. Watson over the middle again, looking for Dupay. Again, well defended by LaGrange. There's a flag on the play. And that will be a roughing the passer penalty. So that will give the Knights 15 yards. And another 1st down. That'll take the ball down to the Panther 32-yard line. Watson steps up, looking downfield. Throws incomplete. Little underthrown to Jairick Washington. Second and 10. And the flag comes in. Be a false start going against the SVU offense. gave the penalty to LaGrange, like 2nd and 5. And there's Scott DuPay wide open across the middle of the field. Touchdown, SVU.
Yeah, and Scott DuPay, I mean, just gets himself wide open. Watson was able to make a nice, simple pass, and DuPay with a good route, but the defense just a little confused, and he was just left with no man.
Just found that seam in the middle of the defense, going right down the middle of the field, and Watson laid it out perfectly in front of him. And now Scott for the extra point. And that is good. And that brings the score to 65-21. LaGrange leads with 1:29 left in this third quarter. Good to see the Knight offense still competing in there. You know, might be, you know, kind of out of reach at this point, but you know, it's always good to see, you know, compete to the final whistle. You know, the underclassmen that are in there have an opportunity to still show they can go in there and be counted on to do a job. And of course, these seniors, good to see them be able to stay out there on the field and get their last plays in, you know, of this, their senior season.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to see that they're just still fighting, you know, and it's just out of reach for them. And, you know, we still have another quarter left, but that quarter will, you know, kind of fly by. But the Knights just kind of push and keep fighting just to raise that score, even if it doesn't change the final outcome.
DuPay approaches. This will be fielded by Aaron Bryant inside his 5. And he will be forced out of bounds up near the 25-yard line. So run up the middle, out to the 45-yard line. Ball carrier is number 9, and that is Andreas Anderson. Yard pickup for Anderson. We have a change for LaGrange at quarterback. Another give up the middle. Anderson once again. Ronnie Frere in at quarterback for the Panthers, as we will now watch this third quarter wind down and come to an end. So we'll go ahead and take this break at the quarter and be back for the fourth quarter in just a moment, with the Panthers leading by a score of 65-21. Welcome back to Knight Stadium for the fourth quarter. LaGrange with the ball on their 48-yard line. After another carry by number 9, Andreas Anderson. Brings up 3rd and 7. Frere with the give. Anderson once again gets around the edge, and Frere will take it down to the SVU 32-yard line.
That was another big-time run. As he's able to just get outside, break a tackle, slip another, and get those extra big-time yards.
First and 10 for LaGrange. Frere with the pitch. Jalen Teagle with a gain of 7 on the carry.
You can see the LaGrange offense being patient, waiting for that play clock to get all the way down.
And there will be a false start there as 2 players got a little anxious there to start the play. That'll back LaGrange up 5 yards. 2nd and 9. LaGrange letting the play clock run down after the referees marked that 5 yards off. Teagle once again on the carry. Picks up 5. So it will be 3rd and 4. Frere with Anderson in the backfield, and again early movement is going to back the Panthers up 5 yards. Give to Anderson. And he is hit and brought down by Nick Euler. Jamar Robinson also there on the tackle. Robinson, of course, another one of the seniors here today. Jamar played 5 years here at Southern Virginia. Fourth and 6. Now for LaGrange. Once again, it's Frere and Anderson in the backfield. Frere back to pass under pressure. Goes wide. And a great catch. That is number 83, Isaiah Johnson, going up high to bring that down for the first down for LaGrange.
Yeah, I mean, and he gets up there and with his right hand kind of sticks out there, snags it one hand, brings it down just enough to secure that. What a catch.
Full extension right there and the one-handed grab. Difficult play to make. Give to Anderson. And he dances his way through the line for a pickup of 4 yards. Zaner Nagonquit on the stop. We approach now 9 minutes remaining in this contest. The give to Teagle. Tanner Evans with the tackle. Gain of 1 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd down and 6. Ball's on the 16-yard line of Southern Virginia. Frere, screen pass to Teagle. Teagle slips 1 tackle. And Gabe Tarver and Jamar Robinson team up to bring him down after a gain of 1.
No, that was a good 3rd down stop by the Knights, forcing this 4th down, forcing LaGrange to do something.
4th and 5. The Knight defense looking to make a stop here and get the offense back on the field. Frere with the toss to Anderson. Slips the tackle by Smith, and then he is brought down short of the first down marker. So the Knight defense will hold. Again, Zaner Nagonquit and Connor Owens on the stop. Seven minutes, 19 seconds remaining here today. Shovel pass to Sintez Gibson. Gibson End up with a gain of 1 on the play. Carry by Roger Adam, and he'll take it up to the 20-yard line. That's going to bring up 3rd and a long 3 for the Knight offense. Stop made there by Isaiah Bobrin. Watson back to pass, finds Audette. And it looks like he'll have enough for the first down out to the 25-yard line.
Nice throw and catch by Watson, but then Audette getting there and keeping his feet under him and just falling, leaning, getting that first down.
Marcus Solers in the backfield with Watson. Watson with time to throw, looking downfield. He'll scramble, and then he'll be brought down after a gain of 3. Akeem Blackman with the hit. That'll bring up 2nd and 7. Watson with the give to Solers. And he will take it out to the 34-yard line and bring up 3rd and 1. Another give to Solers. He's around the left edge. And he'll pick up enough for another first down for Southern Virginia. Ball's now out to the SVU 37-yard line. Watson with time, steps up, looking downfield. Jerick Washington. Ball's batted around and falls incomplete. A good throw. Watson was hit just as he threw it, but 2 Panther defenders were there to defend.
Yeah, and Colby, that was a good throw. Given the contact that Watson received, and it makes you wonder if they didn't have that pressure, just the opportunity of that ball and how far that could have gone. But it was good defense by those 2 safeties from LaGrange.
It was A.J. Johnson and Danielle Williams on the defense. Pass to Henry Audette. That's a backwards pass. Audette's looking downfield, looking for DJ Perry, and that will fall incomplete as well and bring up 3rd and 10 for the Knight offense. Under 4 minutes to go here. Watson across the middle, caught by MJ Laws across midfield for a first down.
It was a good, nice slant route, little deep slant, make sure that he was past that first down marker, and it was a great play.
And with that, LaGrange is going to take a timeout. So we'll go ahead and take this break and be right back with the last few minutes of this game. Welcome back here to Knight Stadium, where the LaGrange Panthers lead 65-21 over Southern Virginia. Pass complete to Jairique Washington. And Jairique will take the ball down to the Panther 31-yard line. Pick up another first down for Southern Virginia.
It's a very dangerous pass there by Watson. He just kind of fumbled that initial snap and bobbled. It was a little high for him, and he was able to find it. And he had to get off quick because he had two people coming right at him, but he's able to almost push that ball out. But it was accurate enough that it was able to be a catch.
Athletic to bring that snap in and get some sort of a throwaway. Now he passes across the middle, again complete. That's MJ Laws with another reception down to the Panther 12-yard line.
And you can see this Knight offense starting to catch that spark once again.
Watson keeps it. Again, a snap that was a little high. I think that threw the rhythm of the play off just a little bit. Watson able to gain a yard on that. 2nd and 9. And even though this game's been a little rough, Knights would love to cash in one final touchdown on the season right here. Watson rolls to his right, finds Jalen Lackey, and Lackey takes it down to the 2-yard line, and a flag comes in at the end of the play. And that's going to be another roughing the passer penalty. That one will go against number 99, Javon Wells of LaGrange. Timeout on the field. Looked like Watson may have been a little shaken up on that play. I think that was the reason for the timeout. Give him an opportunity. Actually, the timeout is the 2-minute timeout, as we're at 1:59 remaining here this afternoon. So Watson will bring his offense back out to the field here. Under 2 minutes remaining. They have 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. Give to Saulers. And Marcus Saulers, he will push his way across the end zone. That'll be a touchdown, Southern Virginia.
And that was a nice run right up that middle, just kind of putting it down the gut. and you can see this night offense really finding that momentum, which they needed earlier. And so while it's too late, but you still love to see that they're able to, make the most of it. I mean, we were talking about this earlier, but now as the clock really kind of winds down, they're still pushing, they're still fighting, they're still getting those points.
Absolutely, you love to see them fighting to the end and making the most of what they can out of this situation where they find themselves down. DuPay's kick is no good. So 65-27 here at Knight Stadium. Have a minute 54 remaining here. Knights will kick it away. Jackson had an opportunity to speak with Coach DuPay earlier, and of course, the plan is to go out and play and win this game. Not able to do that here today, but he did talk about a list of accomplishments that this team has accomplished this season. They beat Averett for the first time in program history. They started 3-0 for the first time. They also started 4-0 for the first time. For the first time, they received votes to be in the top 25. We talked about this earlier, but ranked first in forced fumbles and recoveries. First 5-win season, and now they'll end up with a 6-win season is where this season will end up. And also their 3 conference wins are a new high for the program as well. So a lot of program marks set this year. It's good to see them. I would say they've raised the bar to a level, and now the work will begin, for next season. Coaches recruiting, looking for players to add to the mix that they have so they can kick off, next August. Practice will start end of July, first part of August. And looking forward to 2026 season.
Yeah, definitely. And while it's, awesome to see that this program is kind of taking a little step up, and you see that they've had multiple accomplishments, which they haven't before, it really, in the grand scheme of things, kind of sets up that little rebuild or that build, as now, it's a lot easier, not easier, but more attractive for recruits to come here when you see some more success coming from this night program. And so with that success, you can only predict that the night football team will just improve.
So LaGrange will take over here. That's a give to Jace Black, sophomore running back out of Carrollton, Georgia. At quarterback, number 7, Mason Bryant, a freshman out of Dallas, Georgia. Coach DuPay also giving players an opportunity to get some snaps out on the field. Elijah Morton on the field for the Knights. Tommy Cruz, another one of the seniors, finishing his career out on the field as well. Hunter Johnson, also Isaiah Rambert, Jaquel Bradley out on the field for the Knights. Derek Assel. Sawyer Rasmussen as well. So plenty of opportunities, and that's going to count down the final seconds of the 2025 season for Southern Virginia. Very successful season that sees them go 6-4 on the year. Jackson setting new program marks Also, want to congratulate LaGrange on their undefeated USA South Conference season and wish them the best in the NCAA Division III tournament.
Yeah, and it was a great job by the Knights, especially this season, and the success that they're able to find. And now they can, kind of build up from there, and they know what they need to do, and they know how they are as a program. They can set those standards and increase and grow on them. And LaGrange, obviously, a fantastic team, and we wish them the best in their national games and stuff. And as they complete this conference season, they're able to go undefeated, and you can see they're a great team and great defensive weapon or offensive weapons, and they got a very solid defense. But especially for our Knights, we want to wish them the best, and we're very excited to see where this program goes to as they make some great accomplishments this year. But their program is only going to improve from here for the next coming years.
No, absolutely. Great season. This Knights team was picked to finish 8th, in the USA South. That's last out of 8 teams. They were able to manage 3 wins, start out the season. And even though, today didn't turn out the way they wanted to, a lot to look forward to in the future. So a lot of, congratulations and thanks goes out to Coach Roger Dupay, his staff, and this group of players, especially those 10 seniors whose career comes to an end here today. We wish them the best and thank all of you for joining us here on Night Broadcasting. Once again, I'm Colby Kemp with Jackson McDonald. We want to say good evening, and as always, go Knights.